Okay. Well, first of all, I want to always start my show off by saying thank you for sharing and being open to letting people into your world. And you are you're like, I've met you only a few times, and you're one of those people where you just have this infectious energy. People feel comfortable around you. And that's really difficult, especially in this year. And let's just start, tell people a bit about yourself. I did an intro, so we have kind of the basics of who you
Mhm.
are, but where does such confidence and just pizzazz for life come from?
Okay, so my name's Cameron with a K. I'm 25. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I mean, for me, I've just always really loved people, loved making friends. I grew up as an only child, so wasn't able to do that at home. I wasn't able to hang out with other kids, so it was like me going to make friends was like the best thing I could do because then it was like meeting new people and doing new things. And yeah, that was something that was really awesome. Honestly, my like confidence level didn't come right away. It was something that like over time I worked up to. It was really like after college and after being able to really fully be myself. I'm not after college, after high school, going into college. So I studied in Ecuador my sophomore year of college, and that was something that was really like able to take me out of my comfort zone, and I was also able to just really see the world in a different way than what I had always known the world to be. So it was just kind of a way of changing expectations and changing experiences. And then I really didn't get that like full like confidence in who I am until I went and studied in Brazil. And when I went to Brazil, I was just there, and it was just like these were the people that I was missing my whole life, just because I'm a very like loud, like extra outgoing person, and that's just like how all the Brazilians are, and they're just like in the streets doing it, and it was just very like whoa, like it was something that I was really able to see and be able to like living there. It was something that I was able to then like wow, okay, like realize, you know, you are who you are, and you don't have to hide that. And so
Absolutely.
yeah, so
I
that was
will say, according to, everyone, you're an attractive person. So
thank
I
you.
think when you put these things out on Instagram, and I will link your Instagram for people to check out, if people could maybe look at you and say, well, yeah, it's easy. He's got a great body. He dances well. He knows what he's doing. So what advice could you give to someone that maybe isn't so confident with their outward appearance, but they're striving to be that person to find themselves?
Yeah, so I mean, what I would say is you just really have to be able to like be honest with yourself. You just need to be able to see yourself for who you are and not try to change who you are based on what other people are or what society says you should be, and just really be able to, you know, be the beautiful self that you are, because you are absolutely beautiful. You really are. And like all the differences and all of the things that make us different, whether that's body, whether that's personality, whether that's just the way that we live life, is beautiful. And it's like, especially like for me and like going and like living in other countries and just seeing just how life is so different in just like the ways that we live and we go about our days is something that I think is really, really important and really amazing. So, I would just say like, yeah, just really, you have to like, you just have to like accept yourself, because if you don't accept yourself for who you are, it's harder for other people to accept you. And so, and also like if you're having a hard time, reach out to your loved ones, reach out to people, and don't think that this is something that you have to do alone. If you're having a hard time, it's not something that you're not alone. Like you have people in your life for a reason. And like, I just want to say like, even if you don't personally know me and you're having a hard time, you need someone to talk to, you can send me a message. Like I'm perfectly open to that. So like, and yeah, like there's
That's such an amazing outlook to have because I have spoken about this a lot, but I think the people that we keep in our lives is so important because these are the people we're turning to for our everyday decisions. So if you surround yourself with negativity, it's what you're going to get back. And speaking of negativity, we don't want to have to go to this question, but at the same time, I think it is important to talk about, do you ever find, because you're so outspoken and vibrant, have you had any backlash that you had to deal with, whether in person or social media?
Yeah. So I mean, I've definitely had I've had certain instances of kind of like when people first meet me, they think that I'm not being myself. They think that I'm putting on a persona of like who I am, like, because I'm just always dancing. I'm always just like, you know,
That's
and
what I love
talking to
about you.
every random person that I ever see, and like that's not a persona. That's just who I am. And like I definitely think as being an outgoing person, it's definitely something that I do put forward more, and I definitely do think that it's something that I have had harder times in the past showing other emotions that are on the opposite spectrum, because I don't want people to like, oh well, you know, Cameron's always happy, and now like, okay, now he's not happy, so like, oh, what's wrong with him, you know what I mean? And so, you know, it's just kind of something of like being that outgoing, it's like I still have to be able to show the other side of it, because you know, I want to be true to myself and true to how I'm feeling, and I shouldn't have to feel like I need to hide this to my friends, you know, because if
Right.
they're my friends, they're going to love and accept me whatever state I'm in. And so that's been something that I've really been able to open up about more.
And how do you handle negativity? Does it really weigh you down, or you just know that these aren't people that you should give attention to?
Yeah, so I mean, it used to definitely weigh me down. It used to be something that would like it would really get to me, and it would really like hurt my feelings. Like I would really be like, ugh, and it would and
It's
it's
hard.
yeah, it is. And like so, you know, after like being able to really um see it and like realize that it's not necessarily me that is the problem in these instances. You know, a lot of times like when people are being negative to other people, it's because they are receiving negativity in a way from someone else, and it's not even
100%.
necessarily like, it's not that you're trying to throw negativity on this person. It's just that that's what's around you, that's what you're thinking of, so that's just what comes out. And so I would just say, like, you know, when it comes to negativity, even if you're receiving negativity in life, you could still just, if you were just to switch that little thing and just be nice to a random person or just be nice to anyone, then you never know like all of the positive things that could now come your way because you took that extra little step to say, hey, I like your shirt, or whatever it is. Like, hey, you're beautiful, just like to a random person. Like, you know, that can make their whole day. It could make their whole week. It could make their whole year, you know,
It's
especially
so
like,
funny that you said that, because I wasn't having the best day yesterday for whatever reason. I was just kind of like feeling crappy, and I, not to, you know, I'm no hero in doing this, but I saw a homeless man, and I keep a little thing of snacks sometimes to give them,
uh-huh,
and I just knew that like I need to give this to this man right now because it'd make me feel better just
mm-hmm,
doing something for someone else right now, just because I need to change up the energy that I'm carrying for whatever reason. And it's true. It's like you can take back your day. You can choose to let whatever happened to you before bring you down, or you can choose to break through that and move forward and then change the energy. And then because of that, it can become this positive domino effect rather than the negative. And with music, with dancing, I know you're coming out with music. Do you find that, especially in this year where we are just challenged, it seems like every second, of more bad news and just trying to stay positive, it's really difficult? Do you find that music and dancing is the outlet?
yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that like it's something that like I love. I've always loved, and it's something still in the newer sense. Like I'm still new to making music and to doing music. I've been doing it for a little less than a year, and I have like 2 songs out now. And you know, it's something that I am working on, but it's also something that I have like been able to learn throughout this process of, if I'm not doing it right now, I should not like be mad at myself and like stressed at myself for that reason, because that was something that I was kind of dealing with of like, you know, oh, we have so much time right now, like why aren't you doing this? And it was just like, you know, it was more of, I needed to sit back and I needed to analyze myself and I needed to see what was really going on with me. And you know, by doing that, I wasn't doing everything that I wanted to be doing, but you know, that doesn't make it any less valuable. So you know, I think like it's just like, okay, hold on. I lost my train. My train was going and it fell off a little.
It's
Um,
okay, happens
okay,
to
wait,
all of us. I
wait,
think
okay.
sometimes it just takes like looking within, and if you're like, okay, I do have all this time and I need to do something with it, I should be productive. We put this pressure on ourselves. I think if you ask yourself, why am I not doing something right now? and you know the answer is because of this specific reason, maybe it's because life just needs you to learn a little bit more before you're ready for it. But if you know you're just procrastinating, you're just scared, that's when I say, okay, go for it, because now you're in your own way. So I think it's just like really finding that reason of why am I not executing the plan in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And yeah, I think that like it also kind of comes down to of like whatever you're actually going to be doing, whether it's music, whether it's a dance video, whether it's any kind of art or anything really, like that you shouldn't be wanting to do it for the final product, for the reaction it gets. It's just to be something that like you're doing for yourself. Like it's something like, you know, what I want to do with my music in the future, I want to be able to use my platform and I want to be able to use my voice to send out messages of love and to help people with what they're going through. And like, so for me, even if I were to just put out a song that's all love and all good messages to people and no one were to listen to it, I don't care, because it's something that like I want to put out there. And so for me to be able to genuinely do that and genuinely put out a project that I love, I don't care about the outcome of it. And so I just think that it has to do with like, you know, because I feel like a lot of times we're like, okay, like I'm going to post this picture, like, will my fans like this? Or will the people that follow me like this or whatever? And a lot of times it shouldn't be about that. It should be about, what do you like? Like, what is this to you? And so, yeah.
Those reasons alone are why I know you're going to be successful, because I think it's easy to get lost in, especially now with social media and following and status. We want the hype. We want people to like us and the work we're putting out there, especially when it takes, you know, vulnerability to even put these things out in the first place. But the fact that you know that the intention behind it is love and art, that's what's going to carry you, because that authenticity, you just can't replicate that. It shows. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can only put a facade on for so long before you can't keep up with your own lie anymore. So I'm so happy to hear that, and I would expect nothing less from you. And I'm also definitely going to suggest that we collab after knowing about you with music.
You better believe it.
We need music, right? Like,
yeah, we
sometimes
do.
like there's just, you don't want to talk to anyone. You just want to like blast music in your car. And the coolest thing about music too is that it will always be there. Like if you have a song from 15 years ago, more, whatever, and it just brings you to this place, like you can always put that song on.
Exactly. You can always listen to it. Like it's there.
It's there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So talk about your routine a little bit these days. What does life look like for you, and how do you make it look easy to be positive, honestly, with your Instagram? Like it just seems fun to be around you. And I guess that kind of leads into your travels. And besides confidence, what lessons did you really take that you implement in your day-to-day life now?
Yeah. Okay. So, so kind of just like a daily, like kind of like a weekly thing that I do. So right now, what I'm really doing for work is, I'm a teacher. I'm a language teacher. So I've been teaching Portuguese.
So impressive, by the way.
Huh?
So impressive, by the way.
Yeah, languages is my thing. Like languages is like, that was my first passion. So I speak Spanish, I speak Italian, I speak Portuguese, and I speak English. I'm learning French and Japanese right now. So like, it's just, I just love it. And like, you know, I want to just keep learning languages until I can't learn any more languages.
That's so cool. And a very useful skill to have once we start traveling again.
Exactly, because that's the thing about like learning another language. I feel like a lot of people that speak English think that we don't need to learn another language because other people learn English. But like, let me tell you, learning another language is going to open your mind in so many ways that you can never even imagine. It's just, you're actually thinking another way. Like it's a different way of thinking when you think in another language. And so, you know, and also to be able to like, you want to communicate with someone, but they only speak English, you don't speak their language. And, you know, if you were able to speak their language, you're just going to be able to like communicate with them on so much of a more genuine level of like, you know, who they are and what they really want to say to you. So I think that's something that's really beautiful. So yeah, so I've been teaching classes. I do that pretty much on just Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I teach classes. I also do some twerk classes.
We gotta talk about that.
So yeah, those are like kind of what I've been doing. You know, and then like the rest of the week, I've just been kind of like using to do like, I'll do like my studies, I'll do like my language studies. And then you know, I really like, if I'm feeling like I want to relax and I don't want to do anything, I really just will follow that. And I will allow myself to do that, because over like my whole life, I've just always been like doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this. And I've never really just like sat down and had alone time. Even though I'm an only child, I would always like, let's go hang out with friends, let's go hang out with friends, let's go hang out with friends. And I love doing that. And that's like one of my favorite things. Like my friends are my favorite thing. And I've never really like sat alone and just like, you know, done that. And so it's been something that's been really helpful to me and helpful in just seeing what I need to do next. And so
just listening to that inner voice, especially when you do give off so much energy, it's only natural that you're going to need that time to really just tune into you, take the time you need. And you know, I'm going to ask about those twerking classes. So
yeah.
is it online? Is it in person?
Okay.
How long? Like, that's a long time to twerk.
So originally, I started doing twerking classes last November. And I was doing them in person. I have like a little studio in the back of my house. I got some mirrors on the wall, and I was just like doing it. We were twerking. Then everything happened with Corona and everything. And so then I started doing it online. I was doing it for a little bit. I was doing like a weekly live on Instagram. And then that wasn't working so well with like the music. So I started doing Zooms, and I would do like a weekly Zoom. And then, you know, it just ended up of like, you know, I wasn't promoting it as well as I should have, and like all of this stuff and all these aspects. So I kind of stopped doing it. And now I just kind of have some individual students. Like I'll have students, like I'll just do like a Zoom like this, and we'll just have like a twerk class just like right now. And
okay, so I have WGS, white girl syndrome, and I'm going to be to teach me because I'm not very good.
Okay, no, here's the thing. Like anyone can twerk. Anyone can do it. Like you don't need to have a huge booty. You don't need to have a juicy booty. You don't need to have any kind of specific kind of booty. All you need to have is hips that can move from side to side. Like you just need to have like,
I'm thinking Shakira.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I could show you a little. Do you want to see some? Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. So we just like, I'll give you like a basic twerk stance. Like,
Please do.
So when you're doing it, you want to put your butt as high as it goes. And so then then what you're going to do with your hands, you're going to put it on your legs, and you're going to straighten them as much as you can. So you're going to be all the way like so high up, you could sit a glass right there.
Okay.
And from there, you just want to put it down. And then up. And then down. And then
is the cheek clapping during this?
So no. So those are also, that's more like
next level.
Shape. Yes. So we have like bounces. We have like.
Does that require a bigger ass? Because I'm lacking.
I mean, to do the shake, you need to at least have some kind of like movement. One of the things that's really hard about like doing twerk is that in the beginning, especially, it's really hard for you to relax your butt and relax your legs around it, because that's what's going to give you the movement that you want. But a lot of times we like keep it so clenched up that it doesn't move how we want it to move. So it just is actually like one of the big things about it is like actually like learning how to relax your butt muscles while you're moving it.
That actually speaks into the deeper meaning of it all, because obviously it's fun to dance and to twerk, but there's got to be some emotional connection there to like, why do you want to go so far as to actually investing time to teach a class? Do you think it has to do with that force to just like relax and not take things so seriously, just like fun?
I really do, because I mean, like that's one thing. Like relaxing is a big thing about it. But also when it comes to like twerking and moving your butt, I feel like those are the most like they're the most like taboo kind of dancing. Like it's the most like, oh. So like if you are able to do that, and you're able to like, you can do any kind of dance. Like if you're able to like, I'm gonna start moving my butt, like that's probably gonna be the kind of dancing that you'll be most uncomfortable with physically like doing. And so once you're able to just like, I don't care what these people think, I'm just gonna dance how I want to dance. You're gonna be able to be so much more free in the way that you dance and the way that you move. And then by being free in the way that you move, you open up freedom just in life. So like it's
right, because the body, that's one thing I've learned so much since I moved to LA and I don't know if it had anything to do with California or what, but I've just learned the body and mind connection is undeniable. It's so real. So by dance, I feel like that just makes sense that you're releasing this energy within you, and then it just helps you see things more clearly. And with challenges, what would you say have been some of the biggest in this past year you faced, and then what do you do personally to really cope with those things?
So, I mean, I definitely had a lot of just like kind of worry about just like everything, and you know, kind of stressing over things that I have no control over. That's
for the people in the back.
That's
Yes.
a really big thing. And it's like, you know, like it is reasonable to be worried about this, to be worried about certain things, but like there's only a point of how far you can take it, because you know, you can't control what this person at the grocery store is doing or whatever, and you know, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating. And like, but if you then are rude to the person or you give negativity to this person, it's not going to change what they're doing. And so the only way that you can really like try to control things that you can't control is by doing it through love, is by doing it through positivity, is about doing it through like goodness. And, you know, I think that like, you know, just really like accepting what life is and just realizing that your present is not your future. And just to, you know, like it's a hard time right now. It's a hard time for many people. It's a hard time for a lot of people. You know, some people are having easier times with this. Some people are having really, really, really hard times. And that's not, and you know, and I don't want to take away from that. But to know that like you will get through. You will get.
And so really what it sounds like is that you just accepting that you cannot control everything, but you can control your response to it. And it is cliche, but you know, like a great wise woman Lizzo once said that, you know, cliches are they're cliche for a reason because they're true. And I think that's just, it's such a powerful thing that, yeah, life is going to throw us curveballs every day. If this year has not proved it, I don't know what does. And it is up to us on how we respond. Otherwise, we'll go crazy. And easier said than done, but I think it's really cool to have conversations like this to keep those reminders. Even it needs to be a daily practice. I know for me, like I need to like breathe and meditate, and I need those check-ins. And I don't care how fringe it sounds, it makes me feel better, and I'm going to keep up with it. And just to wrap it up, I do want to know, what are some of your go-to like resources? Do you like to read? Do you listen to any specific podcasts? Because you seem like you've definitely like heard some speakers. You have a lot of wisdom. Like, where did this come from?
So, okay. So in all honesty, I don't listen to podcasts. No. I really don't. And it's like something I just have never like I will listen to podcasts with people. Like I'm like, someone's like, hey, you want to listen to this podcast? I'm like, sure. But I've never really like listened to podcasts very much on my own. I think like I'm a person that I really will like learn things through experience and through like hearing people talk. Me having conversations with people, that's like the biggest way that I will grow and I will learn stuff. And so yeah, I think that is like a really, really powerful way. Some other resources, I mean, music is a really, really big thing for me. Like, you know, however I'm feeling, if I'm able to just like listen to like 2 songs, it can also just like, you know, get more breathing, get more like, okay, whatever you're doing is a little bit better now because I have music. So, yeah, and just like being able to like be free with my body and do what I want and kind of like wear what I want and like not be worried. That's a really big resource for me and thing for me, I think, is like, you know.
Like when you feel constricted by life, your way of kind of rebelling and taking your power back is to be the exact opposite, which is just free. And just not to let it weigh you down. That's so beautiful. And you are a beautiful person. Thank you so much again for being on my show. And
let me say that you are amazing. And I'm so happy to be a part of this. What you're doing is so wonderful for so many people. And just continue to be your radiant beam of light that you are. And I appreciate you so much for that. Like
I'm
you
so
said in
happy I met you. You're
the-
just like a great
ah,
person to be around.
like you said in the beginning, is like we haven't like hung out that many times, but it's just like the amount of love that I feel just like from having a conversation with you is incredible. And
It's an energy thing. Like that's all it really is, you know? It's just like you connect with people. And I definitely want to plug your music. So I'm going to text you after this to set up our wine and twerk date and to get your music link because the world needs to see more of you. We definitely need more people like you. We got to end it there.
All right.
More
Well,
of you.
I love you all. Thank you so
Okay.
much. If you have any questions, if you need anything, feel free to let me know. Kameron Conca is how you say my artist's name. It's Kameron with a K in Portuguese. So
I love you. Have a good rest of your night,
thank
and I
you
will
so
see you
much.
soon.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart.
Oh my God, what a cutie.